Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm really excited for today's video. So a while back, there was a subscriber that commented and they asked if I could make a video explaining how to be yourself in front of others. And I wrote down that video idea in one of my journals, but I kind of avoided making a video about it for a while because that was something that I was also kind of dealing with, and I didn't really feel comfortable talking about it because I didn't really have a solid answer. And this video isn't going to be like a step-by-step way to be more like yourself, because that's just unnatural and that's not how we go through life, that's not how we go through the world. But it was something that I definitely wanted to talk about, and it's something that has been coming back to me over and over again. Every time I think about what I want to make a video on, I think about that comment, and I want to give you some sort of answer for that, some sort of guidance in a way on how I think it could be easier for you to just be yourself around others and not overthink those types of interactions. So I hope this video is helpful, and I will do my best to try to explain how I think that you could bring that sort of self-assuredness and confidence into your life, and how to bring your personality and everything that you have to offer into your daily exchanges and your interactions with people. Really quick before we get into the video, I do have a really exciting announcement. My first ever song that I wrote, recorded, and produced is coming out February 1st. The song was a labor of love. It's the first song that I've ever fully written and produced and am now putting out for the world to see and for you guys to listen to. And anything that I make, especially with music, comes from the very essence of who I am and my experiences and stories that I want to tell and emotions that I want to tell them with. For me, music is making art from emotions and just raw human experience. So I'm really excited that I made this song and that now I turned it into a tangible form that you can listen to, and I really hope that you do listen to it. I am really excited for you to hear it. I really hope you like it, and I'm planning on making much more music after this, and I just hope that the song that I did make can connect with you in some way. So my song is called The Way You Love You, and it's out February 1st, and it feels so crazy to say that. Actually, I think that's the first time I said that out loud. So I'm kind of having a moment, but it's fine. So if you want to see more about that, I will occasionally post about it here on YouTube. But if you want to follow that, I strictly have a more music-based Instagram account at It's Lexi Raye. The song is coming out very soon, so I'm very excited, and I hope that you listen to it, and I hope that you like it. When it comes to being yourself around others, it's easiest to be yourself when you have a clear vision of who you are and the values and the things about your personality that make you you. And I think the best way to set that foundation is to really take time to get to know yourself, to figure out what your values are, what your hobbies and your passions are. Because when you feel very strongly about what makes you happy and your life is full of things that make you happy, when you're around other people, it's easier to just let that flow and to not worry about what they think, because you feel good about it and you feel very confident in that. So if somebody says something, if someone is trying to make you feel out of place or kind of bad about yourself, or maybe they're not even trying to, you're just starting to feel that way because of differences that you recognize between you, or maybe you're comparing yourself with this person. And if you feel very confident and strong in who you are, you don't feel the need to compare yourself with other people, because you are really happy with yourself and you at least understand yourself, and you understand the things that you do to be proud of, the things that you're confident of. And I do want to say that no matter what you do and no matter how you act, there is always going to be someone that doesn't like you. There's always going to be somebody that finds something about you or something that you do that maybe annoys them or just doesn't mesh well with parts of their personality. And that is completely okay. That is normal, and that's just how life is. I mean, if you think about yourself, you probably don't like or love every single person that you've ever come across or that you've seen, whether that be in person or online. And just realize that it's the same for everybody else. You might not even be able to come up with a specific thing about them that you don't like, but that's how it is for everybody else too. Everybody has people that they just naturally get along with, or that they just naturally don't vibe with like that. And realizing that that is normal and realizing that that's okay and that you don't need everybody to like you is very freeing. And I feel like that's one of the first things that you can do to be more yourself around people, because whether you're trying to mold who you are to fit in to whatever circle it is that you might be, I don't know, whatever social situation, whatever social situation you're in, if you feel like you're not being yourself and you're instead trying to mold yourself into a different person to fit into multiple different circles, if someone doesn't like you when you're being that facade of who you are, if somebody doesn't like you when you're putting on a mask and they say, I don't like you, that's going to hurt more, because you're going to be in a state where you kind of think, yeah, I don't like myself either, because you're not being true to yourself. You feel like you're putting on a mask. And I feel like if somebody says, I don't like you, and you're not even really being yourself, it just feels even more disappointing and frustrating. And I've had moments like that where I feel a little bit lost and I'm acting in a way that I think, I don't know, just like matches the situation or something. And then if somebody doesn't like me when I'm already trying to mold myself into a version of me that fits in with them, that hurts even more, because I'm already trying to be like what I think they want me to be like, and they still don't like me, and they still are being mean and treating me terribly. But on the other hand, you can be the most authentic and happy and free and radiant version of yourself and feel so good about yourself and who you are and in line with your values and your goals and everything that you want for your life, and someone is still going to say, I don't like you. I can guarantee it. I won't even say that they might say they don't like you. And maybe they won't actually say it to you, but I'm sure that if you're going to come across someone that just for some reason doesn't like you, or you're not their favorite person, and it has nothing to do with who you are. It has nothing to do with how nice you are, if you're too nice, if you're too much. I mean, if you're being a shitty person, then that's something that you need to reflect upon and take time with yourself to really think, am I not treating people nice? Am I treating people poorly? And is that why they're not responding well to me? And other times, it's not you. And other times, it's something that they're dealing with, or you make them feel a certain type of way that they just don't like right now, or that they are going through something else, and the way you made them feel, even if you didn't do anything, just wasn't what they needed, and it just wasn't, they just didn't like it. They just didn't like it, and you just happened to be the face of that. And I know that that stings, and I know that that might be really frustrating, but as I was kind of saying before, if you are that most radiant and best version of yourself that you can possibly be, and someone still says or thinks or acts like they don't like you, it's not really going to hurt that much. And maybe it will if it's a certain person that you like or that is supposed to be a friend of yours, but it's not going to sting as deeply as if you are already not really being yourself and then somebody says that. Because if you are completely true to yourself and you're just so happy, things can't really get to you as much as they did before. And I think that comes with confidence too. If you're really confident in how you know yourself and how you put yourself out into the world, and if you just let that flow freely, you don't really care what anybody else thinks. And sometimes I think we assume that we have to not care what anybody else thinks before we can start being ourselves. Maybe we just have to start being ourselves, and then the confidence from that, the happiness from that, then makes us not care what other people think. I don't know if that's true for everybody, but I definitely think it's something that you can try. I think just by acting in ways that bring you energy and make you feel aligned with what you love and what you want most, I think by doing that, you will naturally be more yourself in every situation. Because that love and happiness radiates to every other part of your life. Being true to yourself makes you stronger, because things just don't get to you as much as they used to. And I am saying that from experience, because I feel like the more that I learn about myself, the more that I do the things that I like, I care less about what other people might have to say or think about it, because I'm proud of it and I'm happy with it, and that's all that matters for me, and that's all that matters for my life. And of course it's a plus if somebody else likes it too, or you find other people like you, but you aren't going to find other people like you unless you start acting like you. Because the more that you act like yourself, the more that you put that energy out there, the the more that other people are going to find it, and you will find your people, you will find your circle. And you might have multiple different circles, but you will find your people. And when it comes to other people, because I know that the big part of this was how to be yourself in front of others, part of that too is choosing the people that you are around. Be around people that bring out the best in you, that make you feel comfortable to be yourself, that bring you energy and happiness, and don't make you overthink every interaction that you have. If you notice that when you're talking to somebody, you feel like you have to put on this persona in order to talk to them, maybe that's somebody that you don't need to be around all the time, because that's a negative emotion that you're feeling. Just think to yourself, is it something about that person that's making you feel like you need to do that? Or is it stemming from your assumptions of what they might be thinking? Is it stemming from you not knowing yourself that well, like I mentioned before, to where you don't really know how you want to be in those situations? Even with my closest friends that I have historically felt the most myself with, the most free to just be myself with, I don't remember a time where I had to consciously make that decision, where I had to consciously decide that I was going to be myself. I just became that when I was with them. Everything about me just blossomed and heightened when I was with them. And those are the people that I choose to be around. Those are still my closest friends to this day. And they're my closest friends because they bring out the best in me, and I enjoy the time that I spend with them. That has never changed in all of the years that we've been friends. I've interacted with a lot of people in my life, especially on sports teams, to where there's 15 girls on a team, and I was on multiple teams a year. So I cycled through a lot of different relationships with teammates and friends at the time. And you just naturally click with some people, and you get along with some people, but they're not your deepest and truest friends, and that's okay too. You can have a variation of relationships with different people, but there's also people that from the get-go you feel that negative energy coming from them. And again, I know that from experience, and you might not have a great relationship with them. But what's important is that you stay true to yourself, you stay a good person, and you stay kind and patient in those situations, and you have the confidence to walk away from something that is not serving you and is not helpful or beneficial or good for you. If somebody is going to treat you like shit, do not treat them like shit in return. Just turn the other cheek and walk away. Or say what you need to say, or ask them nicely to stop talking to you like that or treating you like that, and then separate yourself from the situation. I'm not saying that you need to stay silent or let people walk all over you, but know when it's worth your time and when it isn't, and do not drop to their level or ever say or do anything that is hurtful towards them, no matter what they do to you or what they say to you, because that is not going to help you get over the situation. That is not going to help you be more yourself. If somebody is treating you terribly, just try your best to cut them out of your life. And if you can't, then like I said, treat the situation the best you possibly can and then move on. And that's all you can do. And really quickly off of that, if you do have to be around people that are negative and make it harder to be the most you that you can possibly be, this is something that I'm still trying to get better at. I've been practicing keeping up this mental filter or this shield to where I only let in the good emotions and the natural rise and fall of emotions that come with everyday life, and I block out the negative emotions from others. And it takes a lot of time and practice to figure this out, because I know now which things I should let in all the way and which things I can leave at the door, my mental door, to where they don't need to get past the surface. Because a lot of times, like I said, it isn't about you, and somebody might just be spewing off this negativity that isn't meant for you. But if you let it all the way in, if you let it into your chest and your heart and your mind, that can be extremely overwhelming. And I know that because I am a very empathetic person, and if somebody is feeling any type of way, I can feel that radiating off of them. I feel that too, and maybe not to the extent that they're feeling it, but I would always let it get to me. Like, I would always let it go straight to my core, and I've had to learn how to leave some of those emotions at the door if they're not mine, or if they're not mine to worry about. If it's somebody that I care about, I can still worry about them and I can still care for them. But I don't need to let those feelings get to me like that, because that isn't helpful for me, and that makes it really, really hard to be myself, because I'm just always dealing with 1,000 different emotions where 3/4 of them aren't even mine. And I don't know if you're like that too, and you might be looking at me like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, that sounds bizarre. Maybe not everybody is like that, but if you are, I just wanted to mention that, because that was something that was really hard for me to deal with, and it's still hard for me to deal with a lot of the time, and I'm just trying to be better about it. And I have been better about it, and I've been better about it by consciously in those moments putting up my filter to where anything that I need to get from the situation can get through, and anything that isn't helpful or that I don't need just stays outside. But it's really important to always let the good emotions and the good energy of life flow in all the way and be grateful for it, and let some of those natural bad feelings of life come through too, like sadness or disappointment, because feeling everything is better than feeling nothing at all. And I went through times where, because of all of those emotions coming at me all the time and traumatic events that happened in my life, I just became very numb to everything, and the emotions that I felt like I was supposed to be feeling, I wasn't feeling them deeply like that, and I wasn't feeling present. Like, I would tell my parents, it was like I just like wasn't here, you know? And if you're going through something like that, it can be very frustrating, it can be scary, and what I've learned that's the most important thing out of anything is that you let those emotions through too. Don't just let the good in, because then the bad can be very damaging when it does get in. So there has to be a balance. But if it's constant negativity, if there's one person in your life that just always has something where they're just trying to make it everybody else's problem, you can still be there for them, and you can still hear them and care for them and be empathetic without making that emotion your own, because that can be extremely harmful too. So don't numb yourself, just be more aware of what is worth your emotional time and energy and what isn't. And I know that might seem a little bit off topic of like how to be yourself around others and how to be more yourself in general, but to me it's not, because when I'm feeling the most aligned and the most like myself and my most energetic, when I'm feeling the most aligned with things that I love, when I feel like everything around me is representative of me, I am my happiest, and I just naturally am that way around people. And a lot of that presence has allowed me to notice these things, to notice when I need to grow and when there's something that I need to change. And then I take the time and I sit down with myself and I figure out, what do I need to change and what needs to be different and how can I do that? I was watching back some of the footage and I think that my camera decided to cut out like one of the most important things that I said. So I just really quickly wanted to record this just in case. But I think I was saying how to find who you are, and the key to finding who you are is looking in on moments where you felt the most yourself, where you felt the most energetic and excited and alive, like the places, the people, the things that you were doing. Just really look inwards on every little thing that has made you feel the most yourself. And if you want to journal that, if you want to write it down, that could be a really good thing for you to do, a really good exercise, I guess. I just do that sometimes when I'm journaling. If I am going through a time where I feel like I'm figuring things out about myself, I like to write it down just for me to look back on and see where I'm at, see where I've changed over time. But yeah, I really think the key to finding yourself and to figuring out the core of who you are to build upon is looking in on moments and memories where you felt the most yourself, and when you feel the most aligned and happy. Who were you with that really brought that out in you? And what were you doing? What energy did you feel in those moments? And I really think that that's the key to finding yourself and to finding the most you that you can possibly be, that you're excited about and confident in, that you can then put out into the world. And you feel really excited about it, and there's nothing that can stop you from doing that. I hope that that covers everything that my camera cut out. If not, when I'm editing, if I feel like there's something missing, I'll come back and record more. I think that that is the key. In those moments when you felt the most free and you felt the most alive, that is the key to finding who you are and who you want to be and how you want to be in the world. And so I think if you look there and you figure out what that is, it's going to be easy, and you won't even have to think about trying to be yourself around others, because you will just be yourself and you will be happy. And it's very freeing to feel that confidence in who you are and that excitement about who you are. Nobody can step on that, and nobody can dampen that spark and that shine, because it's just coming from you and it's just coming from your existence. So I really, really hope that was helpful. If you ever want me to make another video about this, if there's a part of this video that you want me to be more clear about and go more in depth about, I just really wanted to talk about it from where my head was at. So if anything was confusing, if there's part that you want me to elaborate on, just let me know. I would be happy to make another video about this. I am really excited for you to find that sort of alignment with yourself, that sort of connection with who you are and who you want to be. And I really do think it starts with just coming home to yourself and letting go of all those other expectations that you thought other people had for you, and starting from scratch from the very essence of who you are. So I'm very excited for you, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to today's video, and I'll see you next week. Reminder, my song is coming out February 1st. If you want to hear it, it'll be on every streaming platform. So I would really appreciate if you go give it a listen. And as always, remember that you can do anything.
Knew that I should have trusted myself. I knew that you could never love anyone but yourself. You are the beat of my existence, the way you love me by tearing me down, winning out any insecurity. You hurt me with your words. You know that they're slowly killing me. Don't you see what you do? Can't be loved the way you love.